Jasons have to give it back to us, Hugo. The J's, the H's. You know, good things come in pairs. That's what they say. All I've ever found in pairs is like little seeds.
Sickly fruit. Pretty nice though, but we'll move into the real meat and potatoes of the evening. It's Cole, it's Sinners, and it's right into this middle area on Sinners map pick. They've got a CT side start, so already Complexity trying to run amok up in the B-bomb site, not allowed, denied, in fact, by Zedko with some taps. Neo as well coming in from the back, and Blame, he does get the entry. It's P250 time. Someone needs to pick up the pieces, and Blame is doing exactly that. 2-on-2 now, there's a chance. The fights are being taken, and Blame is giving all the goods over. Every kill for Blame, 4 frags in the round, and he shuts it down. Look at him getting hyped as well.
Yes.
That's what I want out of Complexity, them believing again.
Right, Jamie, pull that one up on the screen real quick. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that celebration. I mean, whoo, that's Blame F getting hyped. I haven't seen that kind of movement out of the guy for a good while now. And yeah, look, we do have that replay.
Woo! It's like Heroic, man. Heroic always get like super movie, super loud, super, you know.
Super movie.
Yeah. It's out soon. DC Marvel combo. Super movie. Yeah, it's first round of the day, Harry. We'll warm in, don't worry. I hope we have enough time to warm in, because, you know, I'm a little worried about Complexity in this series. I don't want to doom and gloom after they win a pistol round.
I was about to say,
so I won't.
Pick your moments.
They're looking good.
We just saw Blame F getting so hyped, and it's like, well.
They even had to use attack there, just to, you know, put the wheels back on the chair. He threw it across the room. That's not really the reason.
Blame F has got some force on him, right? When he flings that chair back, someone like sat in the room over where it flings against the wall, just got sent flying.
Yeah, great shots, and considering it started in such a you know, unfavorable position, it was a 4-on-2 right now as Cole gets into the B-bomb site. Blame just hits all these headshot angles over default, over double, and yeah, we love a P250, man. That's why. That's exactly why. Who uses a Glock? Glock players. And you got guys buying Julies when you can use a P250 like that. Of course,
no, I mean,
Julies are CT side more often, and CT P250, that's a whole different thing. But let's not let that take us away from the fact that this is Sinner's map pick. This is a really good map for them, and it's one that they've proven themselves on already. So with a locked-in pistol, Sinner's now forcing back in. And Cole, going for a little contact mid-play.
I think it's hard as well to not be enamored and, you know, like moved by this Sinners squad, right? Like a Czech team, obviously, they've got the whole country trying to rep them, you know, getting behind them. That part's great, but also they've really had to grind their way, you know, through the ESCA leagues, all the way through Premier, recently making the move up. And man, it's sick to see them looking this good. This round, though, should be a pretty cut and dry one as far as they go. Right, bombs down on B. The little mid-crunch from Cole has converted this round. They don't fall to the force buy of Sinners. They're fighting to try and keep these guns out, and they are at least bringing some players out of the round with them. Blame F. He's looking like he's having a good day today. That does make me a little nervous, because it's a very hard thing to quantify when Blame F is playing like this.
Yeah, he had some great maps, or he had a great map really yesterday. And, you know, this is mentioned on the desk as well, but even JKS had a really good map in Cole's opener. So, you know, they may have lost the series. I think, obviously, that really just came down to Ancient at the end of the day and Force's experience. But, yeah, we're seeing good signs. You know, S-Tag was beasting on Ancient. JKS was good on Nuke with Blame. So I've got faith in Cole in this series. But also, it's our first taste test of Sinners, Harry. We've watched the games from the sidelines. We've yet to be able to cast them, and this is where we can hopefully see Sinners explode in that next gun round. Right now, it's just an eco.
So I saw the Sinners all tweeted it. I think it was Alex, or was it Sponge? And they said about how to pronounce B-stick.
Yeah. B-stick.
I'm pretty sure we're saying it right there, yeah. B-stick.
Yeah. Why are you doubting it? Why are you doubting yourself?
No.
Why are you doubting
I know
us?
we're good, but it makes me wonder, like, how was it being said? B-stick. How else could you say that? Bee's dick?
No, shut up, Harry. Oh, dude.
Best stick?
No.
I don't know. Here we go. S-Tag over here in middle, opening up with one. And now just these deagles on Zedko and Oscar.
Yeah, this should be a freebie. There's no real way for Sinners to uproot this round unless some well-placed deagles come through. And it's only Oscar on this A site. It's about about to get uncovered. There it is. Easy peasy, and Cole, all the rifles up. They've just got to make sure everything's clear. Check out the short side, check out the boost. And now with the plant in, it's going to be a 3-0. No surprise, you've been here before. You've all seen Vertigo.
Yeah, we know how these rounds play out. Nice that Cole are able to get these conversions, but I tell you what, the thing I'm really looking forward to is when Sinners bring out the big guns, you know? I'm also kind of curious to see what Cole are able to muster here, right? Obviously, we've spoke about the changes and the problems for this complexity squad to no end. But, you know, we did see this Cole team lean into to Vertigo a good bit. And oftentimes to very, very close scorelines. So I'm curious how much work they've done with S-Tag and obviously substitute NATO. Because Cole never slouches on this map.
No, not by any means. But neither are Sinners, right? It's their go-to right now, and let's see why. Wonder if we have the AWP in play. It's going to be armorless if that's the case. So Oscar just goes with the rifle for now. No problem, right? No rush. You've got plenty of rounds to show. Got that short smoke coming in straight away for NATO. Everyone else moving back up to this A site. S-Tag lurking middle, and JKS throwing some B utilities. Just keep attention. Just keep them occupied. And B-Stick more than occupied up ramp through the smoke. Poison finds the first. Cole hold off on this A site, respecting the smoke, giving time for their lurking players to try and find space. It's not like Sinners are offering much up in this 4-on-5 after that kill goes the other way, but it really has uprooted whatever they brought into this round. It's going to have to be some individual saving them. Cole are in no hurry. They're not getting panicked. But eventually, grouping in middle, Zeko moving off for the boost and probably a good time for it. They've got Molotovs. Re-aggro, that's the move for Sinners. Poison's waiting for it. Dodges the flash, but he won't dodge the shot. Blade coming out from short, and he gets a lineup, a shot trades, and now it's a mid-split. Numbers have been seen, and so Sinners know what to expect, but they can't put a stop to it. Molly's down, both players trapped on the other side in A.
Yeah, it's a lovely little mid to be cool out of Cole. They bypass these two CTs for Sinners. They're going to look for a way back in. Will anything present itself? They're splitting this between Con and CT. S-Tag hiding in the close angle would have been that first point of contact, but they never even discover him. Sinners have to save here. They're giving this round up. So Complexity take the 4-0 lead. Still riding the high of a pistol round victory. The conversions that came off the back of it. And they're going to get to keep riding that high, Hugo, because even with these two guns being held, it's going to be another partial at best for the Sinners squad. They could buy, but I hope they don't. You get 4 rifles here. That's why I say they could.
Yeah, it's always tempting, right? But usually just degarm around it. And also, we didn't have the AWP in the first gun round, so that might be incentive enough to try and, you know, slow it down, delay another buy round, and get Oscar on that AWP. You know, we didn't have ramp control for Sinners, and obviously it wasn't helped that Poison shot him through the smoke, or shot one through the smoke, but once we have that AWP, a whole lot more options open up for Sinners. You can allow Oscar as well to solo down positions, lock down a bomb site, take ramp, that frees up your rotates. We've seen Complexity already show a pretty keen tendency to take middle and come over that con. So let's see what this round looks like. Poison on the AWP. And a few grenades here and there, just sprinkled in for good measure. No kit. And I would love a kit on a round like this, just in case things get weird.
Very measured round here from Cole, but they're going to discover the locations of one of these AKs over in middle. And Now they just full group outside of this B bomb site. I'm looking at Oscar. You know, he's over at short, and he is actually starting to peek down this this A bomb site. Now he's pushing it, and so this surely starts to trigger a rotation towards B for Sinners. They are uncovering that the A ramp looks clear. Now they've seen JKS getting this entry outside of B. Thanks to the info that Oscar's gained, these rotations are here nice and quickly, and you're pretty assured that this is the B play. Oscar is now arriving on this flank. He was the guy who got the info, but he doesn't want the glory to stop there. He could destroy this round for Cole. This is one of two AKs trying to do the dirty. NATO and BlameF with a quick double between the two of them, and Oscar throwing into this clutch. Can't get past BlameF, who closes out another round. 10-1 on Blame, and he's having a god game right now.
Wow, yeah, that's a sick clutch. What a reaction as well from Blame to call the two Danes as well, you know, presumably coming in as such. They realize that flank's coming in. It takes down Poison on the AWP, and then Blame and NATO just push up. They take gens, they walk through that little smoke, and they completely catch Sinners by surprise. 3 there for Blame. NATO grabs 1 as well, and then turns around and deals with the AK last place. So the flank not able to delay and keep up pressure. Cole just push in the other side. And okay, yeah, you can't complain too much of your Sinners. You make that so close, you do damage. You now have your full buy you've been waiting for, but man, you felt like that was yours. You felt like that could have been around. Double AWP right into the first buy, the first full buy. Oh god, nice nade. Combined with a shot to Zedco, he's going to get tagged down to 20. They're going to boost up as well behind the wood. Zedco was looking, but he doesn't want to hang around. No nades could spell the end of his round. Shock starts his strong, giving back the AWP to the low Zedco. And with the mid lurk dead and A ramp fully controlled, Cole have nothing but B, and Sinners know that fact. We still have a triple A setup because of this double boost up on the ramp. We need to see a shuffle. Oscar's starting to move over. Now that util comes in, it's clear as day.
Zedco playing around this smoke. He's hiding in it, but one bullet is all it's going to take to get rid of it. For the time being, Shock is keeping the pressure off of his teammate. And now Zedco is able to arrive. NATO will get that trade at least, but now he's got to find himself in the 1-on-3. Swung from Con, down with the first. Neo is able to trade it and keep that round belonging to Sinners. They finally break this 5-round streak. They've got that AWP in hand. They start to lay down some pain with it.
Yeah, the double AWP, only one's really needed right in that round. Not only Shock starting strong, but he goes on with the rifle and gets so much done. Baiting for Zedco, but more than a bait, he sells it fully. And then Zedco grabs another, easy stuff. NATO tries his hand at the clutch, but now it's back to the drawing board for Complexity. 5-1, not deterred yet, still another rifle round, and Flash is getting popped over the top of Yellow, letting B-Stick push down with that MP9. He's got a rifle behind him. AWP often spams his corner, you gotta be very careful. Lots of noise, lots of nades, everything going in, and Beastie commits. Oh, there's a gap in that smoke. Poison plays behind it. The smoke, you want that to go deeper on the bridge. Falls a little bit shallow, and look at the results. Right up B, Zedco lets a man in, but he won't let him escape. JKS now owns that B bomb site. It's only the AWP here to stop.
Yeah, he's not able to put a stop to that bomb crossing, and you know, this plant kind of blindsiding you in this fashion is very, very awkward now. You don't have mid control. You don't know what's happening at B. You kind of just have to save, right? If you try to group here, if you try to come in through construction, well, that's exactly what a guy like S-Tag is hoping for as he waits back in mid-main. You know, he's just holding to cut down these rotations.
Oh, they're not coming, though. They ain't going anywhere but back to spawn and even further. Need that double AWP. And it's the only way you'll have rifles in the next round. Oscar's the only one with any spare cash, so they're going to buy off the back of this almost certainly, right? Getting 4 guns in the next, but yeah, Neo could drop one as well, I guess, would mean no more extra utility. But worthwhile to field a buy, because right now Complexity is showing a different side to what we saw out of them yesterday. Slow to start and even slower to finish. They found a map in the middle, but with Ancient out of the veto this time around, maybe there's a bit more hope for Complexity. This veto is really good for them as well. Like, you know, obviously, Sinners have looked amazing on Vertigo, but with Nuke and Barrage coming up next, Cole aren't complaining.
No, I think considering, you know, what we've seen out of Cole, what we know about the old squad, you know, there's always going to be some issues with translating that over. But for the most part, when I saw this veto, I thought, wow, they've gotten out of that with a pretty good pool, considering, you know, this team's in a bit of a rough spot when you look at their map pool right now. Having 5 days to practice 7 maps, you can kind of see the maths problem there. Here we go. We got JKS working mid. I love how he's doing this as well, right? I'm going to talk about why I love it in a second, but let's see if he gets the kill first. Shot. Oh, yeah, going to get wrecked by JKS. So JKS goes middle. He plays mid how I love to do it. I talk about this to no end. He doesn't throw any utility. He just sits on that deep right angle. And like eventually, a CT normally gets impatient and has a little look in. They haven't seen you till they might not be ready for you. He gets away with that kill. Yeah. And now Poison has extended this man advantage even further. Yeah, the mid-lurk like that is sold even further when your team are pressuring A, because everyone just wants to flank the A ramp. Right? Exactly. They want to get down ladder, they want to get through spawn, they want that information, and they want the backstab. Well, they're not going to have it, and boy, do they need it. Collar all over the bomb site, and Poison with another pick gives us a 5-on-2. Make that 4, make that 3. Suddenly,
the numbers
players are being
down,
picked apart. It's getting scary, but luckily, running right back. 15 seconds, nothing can afford to go wrong at this point in the round, and Sinners, they're not falling for it, they're not thinking it's a fake, they're here with all their numbers. Yeah, Zedko hiding behind the gens, he's playing to try to stop this bomb crossing, and I think the slowdown might have won Sinners the round. Yeah, it has.
Yikes.
That one tag does enough.
Yeah.
That's a little brutal for Cole. Going back to B, they had to run, they had no choice, and so Sinners were always going to beat you there. And it was one bullet, not even a kill, you know, not even like pinning him down for any meaningful amount of time. Just the tag to slow the movement was enough to deny that bomb plot. I had to do a double take there on the map when I saw them rotate with 20 seconds. I was wondering, man, if they're doing that, they must already have the space. They didn't. No one was in B. It's not like they had a lurker finding room there. They just decided to rotate in because they saw that everyone was A. They didn't have the util to stop it, and they knew how easy it would be to stop a bomb plot. You're also hoping when you go for that rotate that your opponents don't believe it, right? And maybe one moves over, but the other is late. He stays at A. That doesn't happen. Sinners realize these are 3 footsteps we hear. Yeah, that's the other problem. There was never a moment where you could have walked there to give the illusion of like, oh, we're not actually going back. Like, no, they ran the whole way, and Sinners heard them running the whole way. So, you know, that kind of comes with the territory of that last second rotation. We're going to have Cole leaning into a B play. They're probably not too happy that they've just lost that round in this fashion. Yeah, it's little moments like that where you find yourself going, well, why didn't we just commit to the A play? Now, new round, new chance, and don't want to be in your head. Cole are working this ramp control again with S-Tag this time on a mid-lurk of his own. I don't want to let go of the baton here because Sinner's never going to give up or go down without a fight. Poison, he's been great at finding these A openers. Leauge's still here up on short. They don't know just yet, but you can only presume, and the smoke spam will do it justice. Blame takes that kill again. 11-2 on Blame F. S-Tag now in middle with that lurk. He's tucked in tight, and they're still holding for it. Almost gets that kill. Zedko will live, but it might not matter. It might not make a difference. It might just be the start of the save. They were saving as soon as those 2 A kills came in. Everyone already just left and was like, well, you know, we've lost A. There's nothing we can do. Poison having a wonderful time at the A bomb site. He's been a treat to watch. Hasn't had to don the AWP yet. He's been making it happen with this AK. That's a 7 now on the board for Cole. It's kind of interesting. I think this group's going to take a few days to, you know, for us to kind of figure out, like, you know, what were some of these day one victories? What did it mean for these teams? You know, like, because Complexity, if you remember their series, it goes all 3, but they get rolled over on Ancient. Sinners, meanwhile, they took down G2 on day 1, which was a huge victory at the time. But as we kind of, you know, start to see the rest of the group play out, I think we'll get to have an indication as to who are the big dogs. You know, is this replicable for Sinners?
Neo in his dying breath, he lobbed the AWP back to Oscar, trying to take the spawn. Good Molotov and spam as well. Blame's looking for even more, and Poison has taken down the AWP. Mine, thank you very much, he says. He might not even go for it.
I don't think he wants it, mate. He's tapping heads right now.
Yeah, keep it up with a rifle. There's nothing stopping you. Mate, Sinners looked unbeatable individually up against G2, at least right now. Cole are showing them, well, we've still got strong individuals ourselves. We've still got fraggers. And on a map like Vertigo, you know, a couple of well-placed kills on that A site quickly. Wow, how often do you see that happen?
Yeah, I mean,
you know, it can mean a round. Think about how many rounds alone that Sinners have saved.
You also, you know, you reference how they all looked really good in that G2 game. I think the pressures in the G2 game were very, very different, right? Like, because Cole, I think not a lot of people are expecting a lot out of Complexity, right? Like, even in their own interviews, they're saying, like, yeah, we're kind of just feeling this out, right?
You know?
Yeah, taper the expectations. Everyone knows Cole's in a bad spot. And so I think, for once, Sinners were coming into this and people were going, like, actually, Sinners should have this one, right? Like,
I was.
And that's a very different pressure to when you are just a flat-out underdog. You know, when you're going toe-to-toe with G2 and no one expected you to win on day one, that's like a real, you know, riding of a high. You know, you're like chasing this kind of impossible vision. Whereas this one, it does feel a lot more 50-50. I think Cole also want to show that even with a standard, they're able to still beat teams that on paper they should be able to beat. And so I do think this is always going to be a tougher time. I still didn't expect this scoreline, though. I'm not trying to say that I foresaw Complexity looking this good out of the gate.
On a map they don't really lean into either. That's the biggest surprise. Now, Beastic forgot to buy armor. That's a bit of a problem. He's got the money for it as well. Not what you like to see. If he realizes he might need the AWP, but I mean, 1 in 10 right now. He might be in his head. He's focused on the calling, focused on setting his team up. And other things have taken priority. For now, it's a bit of a problem. But let's see if it changes anything. Shock on an off angle in middle. I like the move, but getting more than one will be a tough ask, especially if utility reigns in. Even a Molotov here will push him out of position. They're going to go for the boost up. And over. This might be shots for free. The spray now, he's going to get swung and he gets behind a bit of cover. Flash is good, but Poison's better. Headshot through the box, takes his 14th kill. He's been so good at cracking open these rounds. And, well, back to the drawing board for Poison. Dead to the nade. And there's still hope for Sinners.
Yeah,
that railing got in the way.
But I was about to say, yeah, the railing blocks JKS's vision.
Wow.
Blame is now also throwing himself back into this same spot. Neo frag starting to clear middle. Will he be ready for S-tag? There's nothing slimier than a T-side player waiting in mid like this. And Neo won't go any further forward.
Oi, oi. Is that meant to land there? I don't know about that one. Oh, back. Site position plus default. Blame's got a lot on his plate, and the last flash flies in. He's chasing them. He almost got that. If it wasn't for Zedko giving up the cover and keeping his team alive, there's no time. This is a done deal. Bomb dropped. Beastic doesn't matter if he's got no armor. S-tag is left on his laurels to save. Still, loads of money for Cole, loads of opportunities. They won the half at the worst case, but Sinners are trying to find their second wind. Now, Beastic, please rebuy armor.
Oh, but dude, it's one of these things where it's like,
the longer you go without
it, the less you notice.
You think you have it. Yeah, it's like when you win an eco, you get an AK, and then you're like, woo, you're celebrating back in spawn. And you're like, I have an AK, I have armor. Nope. No, you don't. Beastic bought it. We're good. We're out of the woods. We're in the clear. And maybe Sinners can build back in. I like the Cole. They finally lose a round. They call in an immediate pause, making sure they take stock of the situation. Question arrives again. Do we want to give Poison the AWP? Do we stay on the rifles? He's 6-0 in opening duels right now. Chill, bro.
Yeah, I think Complexity is still looking for more rounds, though, right? Like, whenever we look at Sinners here on Vertigo, T-side is often where this squad does their best work anyway. And so, really, I think something like a 6-9 is actually a scoreline Sinners can work with. I think there's a lot they can do with that. So if you're Complexity, I think the kind of upper limit of what you're reaching for here would be, you know, 10-5 you'd be pretty happy with.
Oh.
But it will get harder in this second half of play. Oscar opens up this round with a kill onto Blame F. And it's a little scary, because now that Blame F's gone, who's going to be that X factor? Who's going to be the guy to fill the void? Will it be Poison? He's been good at these openers. No, it's NATO trading onto S-Tag. Still, the man advantage lies with Sinners. And look, they just call a full rotation in towards A. They've seen everyone here at ramp. Complexity can still go back. They don't have to commit to this. So they will start to explore other avenues now, leaving Poison to work this A-bomb. I like this.
Yeah, this is the man to sell the fake right here. Like, Poison can certainly get kills, especially if we see re-aggro, and this is a dangerous move for Shock. Poison's got it. Oh no, now you're committed. Now you're indebted. Oh, Sinners leaving one man alone at B, and Poison will fall. That gives a bit of time for maybe Oscar to get aggressive. The read is in. Neo started to work this one out. Spot comes through now. The pin pull flash is good. Zedko, one kill will do everything here at keeping this site intact, and he'll grab it. Bomb dropped, and he can just live. The longer he does, the worse it gets. Even through the Molotov, that is crazy. He will go down, but he knows he's done his job. There's no way for NATO to win this round. Surely not. Oh, it looked close, but won't cut it. The time alone, that second player would not have swung until after the clock. So Sinners, they are building back in, Harry. They are looking for a retribution in this CT side.
Yeah, this was wonderful from Zedko as well. I love how he plays in the molly. He's like, well, he'll expect me to swing the side that isn't Molotoved. What if I just fight in the fire like a madman? And it almost worked. It almost caught NATO completely unawares. Three of the 4 complexity timeouts called in. That also makes me a bit nervous. As I say, I'm envisioning a world where this gets harder in the second half of play.
This is a long game. No one's stomping anyone here.
I understand wanting to reach for as much as you can over on this T side, but this is a lot of pauses. This is a lot of your thinking. A lot of that thinking time already removed.
Any thinkers? Double nade, but Cole weren't out in B yet. We haven't seen an A attack for a couple of rounds. They have always eventually gone back to this B control. And I feel like Cole have been always good at trading effectively in middle, coming out at worst case even. Avoiding the flash, they hear Zedko. They know. Molly trapped his escape. He's going to land at Tetris though, and Zedko goes back in, catching NATO. Bye-bye. Out he leaves. Now Cole do the same. They've already found an A picker, at least Poison has. Again, another opener. What's he up to? 7-0?
Dude,
8-0?
It's crazy. Poison and Blame are doing so much right now for Cole. I feel like if you even have one other player, you know, to kind of reliably be this third man alongside them, Cole would be in a really good spot.
Yeah.
You know, critically in this round, we haven't had like the early death of Blame F. That's been something that's happened in the last few of these A attempts. Is, you know, suddenly his kind of entry luck feels like it's run dry, and the tides have started to turn on this Blame F battle.
Now they move in. One smoke, they don't have a second, so Molotovs will have to do it filling the void. Oscar's been pushed out by flashbangs, but he's still got this massive gap to attack through. He's going to try and volley default. Comes through at a good timing, might delay the bomb plant. We've even got these naughty little lineups. Beastic going to lob it. S-Tag might be dead, he might not know it yet, but here comes the nade flying over. It's the molly instead on the final tick to do it. Another AWP. Poison trying to get rid of it, but he can't. Shock with a double, and again the time is eluding Cole in so many of these rounds. This is no exception. It's unwinnable. Blame got a frag out here, and even then with a double kill, he won't get given the third. After the time, perhaps, Zedko drops that last player and saves the AWP. Great shots out of Blame. Love the transfer, but it just was never going to be given to you with a clock. Sinners know what's up. So many of these rounds have come down to exactly that, where it feels like you just stall out that bomb and you win the round. Great job at saving utility for the final few seconds. Molly, nade, all of it coming through.
Yeah, Cole have to just take a full eco now. You know, that round there, they didn't have the utility to get up onto A. That was really the big problem, was that once those mollies had delayed the bomb plant and made that impossible and the smokes had then faded, well, you didn't even have the 2 smokes to cross in the first place. You know, you couldn't replenish anything once the molly had burnt all the time out.
I think, yeah, missed smoke there. That's weird.
Flash in for Neo frag, and he's going to check for poison.
That's going to extinguish it as well. He threw the smoke. It was meant for the bridge. He had a lineup, but it went in the left cubby. And then they double mollied into the cubby. Obviously hoping it would push players out, but instead it was smoke. Now it's faded. Blame's been given room. Double molly wasted, though, so that's a bit of a shame. Yeah, it was not the end of the world. At the end of the day, this is a Sinners round. Harry, you said that Sinners would be happy with a 9-6. Well, how does an 8-7 sound?
Very problematic for Cole, is how it sounds.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah, Neo frag should have this under control, but actually, NATO with the P250. And now he's got an AWP. That's his weapon of choice. NATO Sapphics, come on, give us something for the channel. Give us something for the YouTube, mate. This could be it. This could be your moment. 1v2, Shock and Zedco still to find, and NATO Sapphics. This guy's got his own pair of socks, for crying out loud. There he is, kill number 4, and now the bomb going down as well. NATO just Zedco left to beat. He's already out through CT. NATO's not ready for it. He'll get shot in the side of the head, and he will. So damn close. 3 on the P250, 1 on the AWP. But Zedco gets it over the line and even puts one USP shot in the body, just to remind NATO that, yeah, you almost won that. Keywords almost.
Oh, look at these P250 taps as well. That third kill is, I can't wait to see this. Oh, clinical, quick tap. Oh, even the 4th, but no, never the 5th. That's so sad for NATO. Could have been the content round right there instead. It's just damage, and really, damage at this point won't make much difference. We've had a bit of a run coming through for Sinners on the comeback. It was a 5-0 lead to Complexity, remember. Now it's equaling up, 8-2-6. The 4 buys in. You can see even the damage done doesn't make a huge amount of difference. Got the AWP in for Oscar. And it has been nice when you hear about this team, you know, you would think that, like, oh, Oscar's having to do so much work. Well, actually, no, it's just an abundance of firepower on this roster, and as good as Oscar is, as experienced as he is, he's not always the guy tasked with coming in with these massive multi-kill rounds. We've seen Shock do some great things this game, Zedco as well. Neo, slow to start, but I'm sure he'll be strong to finish. Moving up A, Cole contact again, and Sinners find out. Luckily, it doesn't cost them a life, but it may eventually. There's the entry. Poison, he just won't go down first. He delivers death to Sinners with a double, and he can't save here today. It's last round.
That is wild, mate. Poison is channeling config energy big time right now. NATO is starting to feel it as well. And so the numbers have dwindled for Sinners. Zedco was the hero in that last round, but this time they're asking a hell of a lot more of him. He's good for the double. NATO Sapphics, will he get his revenge for the clutch denied? The ace clutch denial, yes he will. Nice. And he's there to close it with the hat trick. So it's not... Oh.
They're just little grenades, Harry. And, you know, if you're buying these up in a pistol, you'd expect to be denying bomb plants. Plus a kit on NATO if that doesn't go well. So yeah, I'm excited to see what Cole have cooked up in the kitchen for this round. Sinners, same can be said. Double molly, no smoke, double flash. So this is interesting. Often you should see smokes on the T side of Vertigo get that wall in on the A site. Instead here, looking to burn out their opponents. Blame gets the info. He's having a really good game right now as Blame. We got a lot more out of NATO near the end of the half as well. A near ace clutch he couldn't contain. First molly on sandbags. Second one maybe for the boost. However you use it, you've got to get this plant, and Cole are inviting you in. They want you to take the site.
Yeah, the retake setup is almost a...
Oh
my goodness! Shock is running them down, but Poison and S-Tag are able to hold on.
Forget the nades.
Now the nades go in, mate, but they are a little bit late because guns are about to come out to protect the elevator room. Oh my god, they're going back in with another flash. The Glocks! Oh, it's a little ugly, but Beastic does regain control. And that is just raw aggression. That is despicable. And Complexity, we're not ready for it at all.
What a mind game, right? Cole is so ready for the A attack that they buy the nades to stop it. They go, hey guys, have the bomb site. And I think that realization sets in for Sinners. Like, they're giving us a lot of room. They're ready to retake. Let's not let them. Oh my goodness, if Blame grabbed that kill, there was a kit available. There was a little bit of hope, but not a lot of time. Regardless, it's ifs and buts that don't matter. Sinners win the pistol, and now this little comeback is on. It's what we hope to see in the series. Cole forcing up, looking to upset the grain immediately. Not only one flash push in, but going back again in the 3-on-4. That was ballsy.
I mean, hell, you needed to make something happen, right? Ooh, Cole, a pretty heavy stack, but there's a man underneath S-Tag. Oh my God, Zedco's not reacting. What just happened? What just happened there? That is wild. That's a little too wild for my liking. Avert your eyes. Get the children out of the room. It's gross. It's disgusting. It's not safe for television, Hugo.
Yeah. I mean, if Cole steal this round away, that has big implications, right? Sinners are delayed in guns. They don't have even, much room at all. You may say their T side is the stronger on this map, but they're going to need to prove it in this 2-on-5. Now or never. Neofrag coming late to B with the bomb dropped. Shock has a lot of room, but they're aware of this possibility. A re-smoke as well is only insult to injury, and you're just waiting for Shock to take space. Cole are not falling for it. And he doesn't want to activate until his teammate can actually do anything to help out, but that's delayed again. A third smoke back at the B stairs. Shock clearing angles. Where are they, he wonders. He's about to find out.
Oh my goodness. He will be ready for Blame. Now, I didn't want to say this earlier, but JKS was still at A sandbags this whole time. It's only just started to move, but it shouldn't matter because Shock is throwing into this 1-on-4. JKS is going to get there in time.
Great
He's just
move.
Watching for a flank. Sorry, you go.
Yeah,
go
sorry, I cut
Great
you
move.
off. I thought you were done. A great move from NATO and Co to jump through that smoke right at the end and take that kill. I think they realized like the reason the Shock was delaying was for his teammate, was to, you want a 1-2 punch. You right hook him, then you left hook him while they're worrying about the right hook, and then vice versa. And so Shock was taking it nice and slow, nice and measured after that kill onto Blame. And Cole just don't let it happen. They hunt down the final player, denying any chance to pick up the bomb with 20 seconds left up. And that forces a saved Galil. Great double from S-Tag down the ramp as well. And now Cole, double digits, feeling feisty. No one likes losing the pistol, but it makes up for it when you win the second. Because look at what Sinners have to show for it. Absolutely nothing.
I love it. I love no flash mid plays, just a little creep in, and you can see, right, everyone was kind of ready to discount a mid play. Well, now in comes this utility, the nades to soften up that mid hold, Poison and S-Tag on the receiving end of them. And a 4-on-4. Now they start to lean towards this B-bomb site. I'm looking at Blame, and I'm looking at the kind of move this guy is making over towards the A-bomb site, right? He's creeping through, and he's about to get the info that A ramp is clear. So this means NATO should start to go towards B right now, and you're looking at that on the minimap. You can see it. Him and Poison start to make their way over, but JKS dies right away. He swings from default. I feel like at this point, Cole must have known it was the B play, and yet they still gave that fight over to ramp. Before anyone was here to help him. Neofrag and Oscar are both armed now. They've got a chance in this 2-on-2.
Yeah, they've got the smokes in as well. They could push through, but it looked like for a second they wanted to take fights, faking it out. The nade comes over, they get scared. It's only a flash. Neofrag trying to cover up the plant, and they've seen Blame really just forcing fights, and they'll get the engagements. NATO now in another clutch, a 1v2, but in order to do, NATO can't. Only damage, and it's going to be Sinners bouncing back with another force of their own. This one's up in the air, Harry. This one's for the taking. Grab the ball. And Cole will have to buy. There's no question about it.
Mate, there was, so this peak, I understand, you know, you're not expecting to get one deeg on the run across. You're trying to play for the info, but as I was pointing out, Blamed had just cleared ramp. He had just called for everyone to rotate to B. And I feel like if you just hidden out a double, delayed that peak for even, you know, 2 seconds while your teammates get set up, they could have flashed for you. They could have done a lot more. I think that's one of those kills where after the fact, you kind of ask yourself, like, you know, why? Why did I just do the sequence of events that just took place? Because it's that kill that invites Sinners into the B bomb site. Up until then, Cole knew what was happening.
Yeah, this is a very, very close game, safe to say. And Cole are getting baited hard. Look at JKS. I mean, he's had a mare of a game in general, Harry. He's 4-10. He's not having a great time of things. This would be a confidence-boosting round, but it could also be one that crushes him. Faked out at A right now, and now the executing to B. JKS calling for help, calling for any kind of support. He'll give it up. It's the right call right now. Nade goes in, does nothing. Can't stop this bomb plant. Good grenade to follow up. Would have loved to see it saved for the plant if you have a lineup. Most of them are thrown from con across that pillar, but maybe there's nothing available. Cole are going to have to either throw in the towel right here, right now, or retake with no kits. Might be the former. And it will have to be the former. Replay the round again as Sinners take 9.
Keeping it close, keeping it competitive, and that's exactly what we want, right? Think back to how this game started. Cole went on that huge streak of rounds, Hugo. It was looking a little too easy for Complexity. But now we're starting to see exactly how Sinners were able to dismantle G2 on this map just the other day. This T-side is starting to come together. You did say, though, Cole have another chance at this 4-spy round, right? You just essentially go, well, you know, they didn't come to our site. We gave them B. Let's try again. And then if we don't win this, we've got M4s in the next. So we're all good.
That's the mind game, right? It's like, do they do it again? Do they go back to a B execute? Because Sinners, man, we're seeing these nasty B executes. A few teams learn them and use them once or twice, but I feel like no one ever goes back to them competitively, convincingly, all the time, throwing in that left-right gen smoke. Usually, it's just one smoke down. Sinners, they plan for every contingency. Molly, smokes, you name it, they've got it.
S14's tried using that mid spot a few times now. I really don't like it. Like, Sinners seem very aware. Yeah, they're nading it every round, they're spamming it, like, and you can see people in that corner.
Yeah.
It really only works if, like, someone else is drawing the attention in. If you're mid alone and you're playing there, you're probably dead.
Well, probably turns to definitely for S-Tag in this round. One man keeping attention on A, Poison. He's calling for support. 2 more CTs moving over it to get the same bait as the previous round, and Cole are falling for it. Oh, no, they're not. The reconsideration moving back to B. JKS trying to get into position. Mollies are ready to go over the top, so if he plays here, he's about to be hit with a Molotov. Presuming Oscar throws, he actually goes for a backside one towards the quad area instead. NATO's baiting for JKS. Neo's calling, I've got A, guys, come back, bring the bomb. And the whole gang. Poison will realize very quickly hitting a tag, but he can't stop Neo from having this ground. Cole don't want to move in the fear of what lurks around. And, well, talking of fear of lurking, it's B stick in middle. Back to B, the double fakeroo. Make up your mind, Sinners. They've got time at least.
Oh, and JKS gets bodied, trying to come back in.
Oh my God, they're just getting dragged around, Harry, like a voodoo doll, thrown across the room. Cole don't know where to play, and I can barely blame them.
Yeah, you know, I mean, that's only going to work in a round like this, right? Where you know it is just these 4 sport weapons. And so Cole are just looking to play a numbers game, right? They were very, very keen to over-rotate in this round. And Sinners used that to their advantage. So well played to the boys. I love how they, you know, really forced Cole to just be out of position all the time in that round there.
Ooh. Yeah, and clean as well, right? Even though the health isn't pretty by the end, you take 4 guns out. But really, this has just been the back and forth of the force buys and the bait plays that Sinners have, had. Now the call is definitely coming in for Blame. You say, guys, just stop the rotate, stop the moving, hold your spots. We're going to wait for bomb now. We can't play to deny plant. We just got to play to anchor our bomb sites. Call are getting faked out a lot. And that is the experience of Sinners on this map. And maybe the lack of for complexity. Say lack of. They've been around the block on Vertigo before, but not one of their go-tos. That's a good shot from Blame, taking down Neofrag, who just tries to lightning speed his way towards A. Electrocuted. Blame moving in, looking for more, and he almost grabs Oscar as well, down to 10. He bounds out alive.
Yeah, I'll take that. I mean, that's a 4-on-4 given back over. JKS is trying to hold on to the extremities of this B bomb site, and he has pushed down towards main. So likely going to see a pretty heavy A lean here for Cole with this position on JKS. But Sinners, yeah, this is feeling a bit like a, well, actually, what I was about to say, maybe he's insulting with how they look at the minute. I was going to say like a VPT side, but I mean VP
I get what you
a few
mean.
months ago, right?
Yeah, some of the slow rounds, some of the
how they're really not afraid to just in the mid round, especially once they reclaim that 5-on-4, they just slow it right down and they try to make Cole, outplay, outread themselves here.
A must-win fight for JKS. He's given up with going and playing safe on the bomb site and getting tussled. He just takes stairs. Now he has all the info. It's an A play. They know it. NATO smokes the Molotov. No one's looking. They run right by. Beastic trusts his team to cover, and S-Tag takes him down instead. Now they know about NATO, and S-Tag needs no help from the Dane. He does it himself. Poison follows up on the flank, and that is more like it for complexity. With JKS actually having real estate towards B, they don't need to pad it up. They don't need to worry about the possibility of these T's going back. They are reassured in their setup, and Poison finds a mid-timing to either lurk in the back line.
I need to know Poison's headshot percentage, man. I need to know, Hugo.
Yeah, I'm not in GoTV, but I can get that for you. May take me a couple of rounds,
that information.
Harry.
That's fine.
Give me a couple of rounds.
Bring that up on the screen, Hugo.
Yeah. I got my people on it right now as we speak.
Because I feel like I've only seen this guy get headshots right now. Not what springs to mind when you think of the AWP Poison. Still haven't even seen him don it yet.
Yeah, he had it at the start of the T side, but then he just kind of threw it away once he realized he needed to be the guy getting these openers, these entries into A. JKS again, back at B. It's only one man to deal with, Zedko, but he's had a great game. Top of the team right now. You want to hear some numbers, Harry?
I do like numbers, Hugo.
Only 60%, but that's the highest in the server. And sorry, second highest to Beastic, who has, well, 7 kills. So we'll get Poison that.
Top fragging, second highest headshot percentage.
Yep.
All right, that's pretty cool.
Looking good. But where will this one go? Maybe Sinners are done with complicating it. Maybe they're just going to pick a bomb site, get in the util, and explode. Trust their individuals. Looking back towards A. JKS and S-Tag, and even NATO at B, leaning. He's supporting mid, of course. It leaves 2 on this A site. But they're running low on util. There's nothing left to stop after that smoke goes out. They don't know about Sinners either, who have 4 strong walking up the ramp in silence.
Oh my God, ever since that one flash over towards B, they've been paranoid about these B stairs. Blame F is about to uncover the terrible truth of this A bomb site, but even then, he doesn't get a great sense of numbers. B-Stick with the entries. There's a response from NATO, but is it going to be enough for S-Tag and JKS to want to give this one a go? They may as well give it a look in, right? For all you know, this might be one of the best chances at a retake you get. With the smoke going in at the elevator, with no kills getting given over, I imagine they will just err on the side of caution here and hold on to these 2 weapons.
Yeah, Kit's down, they got a molly, but it's not like you have the info that Zedko's still sat on the bomb, basically. That would be useful to try and burn him out. Suddenly you got a 2-on-2, but if Zedko goes down, Oscar re-peeks and someone gets cover or a trade at least. So Sinners back on the board. They don't complicate that one. They keep it nice and basic, show presence on both sides of the map. Like you said, that flash pulled Cole over. They realized, but a double entry from B-Stick, 2 headshots from the bottom performer of the team coming into that round. That's great in terms of confidence, in terms of getting you back into the matchup.
I think if we were going to look at someone on this CT side who we need to see go on a recovery, it's JKS. And I've got to be honest, this is a real test out of him now, because he is probably in like the worst place to try and lead any kind of recovery effort, right? Being the B site anchor it can be the most horrible job in the world, especially if you're already having a rough game, right? Where you already haven't been given many opportunities to warm up into it. The way B works on this map is, for the most part, you see nothing in the majority of rounds until the round where they do come B, and then they all come B. And, you know, you're kind of 1v4, 1v5 with all this utility coming at you. So it's going to be a real test of JKS's mettle here, right? It's not going to be an easy path to recovery, but I think at the minute, Cole and maybe over-rotating into B because they're worried about JKS not being able to hold the fort.
Yeah, we'll see games where a Leauge on Liquid, you know, we know no introduction needed for that guy, and he'll go quiet as well, and you feel like you want to get involved, feel like you want to start flanking, you just get held by a default player. Nice nades onto NATO at the sandbags. He's played there before, or at least someone on Cole has. Blame gets spammed a bit. He's going to decide to give it up. Sinners, they take ramp, they demand it instantly. Flashback in, Cole want to meet them there. Quick kill, can Poison get out? No, he goes back in for more instead and takes almost 2 more. Third is low. It's a good round out of Poison to at least level the playing field here. And Sinners, this is where they like to get weird. They've got so much time, they've got plenty of utility. And so now they can start playing with the hearts and minds of Cole. JKS, meanwhile, full nades, either to stop a B play or to retake an A. Doesn't want to rotate out. He knows it's probably A, but he still doesn't want to rotate out.
Exactly right, and this is why I say it's kind of horrible for someone to try and get back into the game when they are in his position. Like, even in this round now, JKS isn't just responsible for B, he's also the guy bearing mid in mind in the back of his head. He's having to keep checking that. So he's got to stay on this side of the map, and that could leave him in a 1vx here if the A play comes in. Blame F gets ahead of it, though, and cuts down the first 2 men in. Oscar, all alone, put in the dirt by S-Tag, and the 2 Danes deliver it to Complexity over at that A-bomb site.
Yeah, this game has just all been coming up for the OG Cole players, right? Blame and Poison, these guys have been doing so much work on this roster, in this map alone. Probably last time we see Sandbag's position for Cole, right? Played before, NATO got mollied, now he gets double naded. At least with the Molotov, you can smoke, you can stall, you can flash, you can play with your opponents. Double nades, you just don't get to do anything. You don't get to play the round. And so, right now, Cole, they take the lead back. It's no clean sweep, it's no heavy lead. These are still recoverable from Sinners, but we're seeing Sinners tested, which I think is the most impressive part. Looked pretty unrivaled against G2.
By the way, that's another classic of the B site anchor.
Yeah, S-Tag swoops in, gets the kill.
They finally challenge one guy up the ramp and someone else gets it. So JKS is like, well, you know, I could have done with that as a little confidence booster, but it's fine.
You take it.
It's all well and good as long as we win the round. Isn't that right, boys? Poison with the AWP.
Like
your eyes aren't deceiving you. He's bringing it out.
Yeah, I love this angle as well. He's got the short jump up. You feel like you're safe, but you are anything but. And Poison catches a player even closer, near frag. He's also had a bit of a slow one on this second half. Now Sinners back to B. All right, JKS, true test. 1 kill here is even huge. Sets your team up for a nearly unlosable round.
So critically, they don't have a Molotov to like try and force him out of position or anything, and he's playing this wonderful little off angle over towards Tetris. Now he knows he's dropped that bomb and doesn't even need to peek shock here, doesn't even need to give him this fight. He can just try force them into this double peek and shock.
Nice.
While he will get the first, JKS mops them both up. Little double there. And sometimes, you know, it's just breaking that silent streak and feeling like you've actually won a couple of fights that you had to win, and that can reinvigorate a player.
Yeah, money starting to build for Cole as well after that round. You win with 4 alive. Things are feeling good. You've got the AWP flowing. Poison and Blame are performing. A 2-round lead is the biggest gap we've had really this half, considering it's been that forced buys war back and forth at the beginning. And now even more pauses coming out of Sinners. We were worried for Complexity when they used all their pauses, or 3 of them in the first half. And now, Sinners are getting dealt a deadly hand. 2K a player for Sinners. They've got to give this one up. They've got to play for the 14-11 comeback.
I almost want to see another B execute out of Sinners. I think they have some really nice pieces over towards that side of the map.
Sure.
And you know, even in a round like this, not the worst of ideas.
Well, they've got nothing.
They've got Glocks, Hugo, but like, you know, I mean, you can still Glock entry B.
Yeah, burst. Any
burst Glock up the round?
Don't think so. Yeah, I think
now if that happened to JKS, that's where you just go, well, maybe CSA for me today.
Yeah, I mean, you can't, only so much execute you can run with no utility.
Yeah.
You can get executed.
You can get, I was going to say, wow.
So, well, great minds think alike.
Oh,
shut up, Harry.
Oh, get out of my head! And Shock is living in Poison's head rent-free. That Deagle's opened up. Don't let this round get out of hand, Complexity.
What could go wrong? I'm saying nothing could possibly go wrong. Not with Blame and the entire A ramp in his back pocket. And it's a big pocket.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Blame's got big pockets because he's got big trousers. He's got a big trousers because he's got big legs. Because he's huge, mate. And he's got 3 of them to fit in there.
Is that a ramp in your pocket,
is.
or are you just happy to be here?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yoink.
Nice. Blame F, you ready? You ready, Blame? Oh, he's ready. Oh, he's kind of ready. We'll get Glocked out. Still a little double. AK now retrieved for Zedco and a 1-on-3 to navigate. Hell, if he can take another gun out of the round, this is a win in Sinner's book. You know, like, you've done some damage. You forced a lot of reinvestment. He's going to start to lean towards B. S-Tag is here. Scoped in with that AWP. Can't afford to miss this. It's armorless on Zedco. And so S-Tag will just nail it. Simple as that. Never even worried. A lot of players can don that AWP on this Cole squad, especially with NATO in as a stand-in. Right, you've got 3 players who, at some point in their career, were primary AWP players.
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it? And of course, you know, we talked about this yesterday, but the core of the old Heroic roster here in Complexity and the 3 Danes in NATO, Blame, and S-Tag. You know, I say core, like, you know, Heroic's been through a lot of rosters, a lot of players, but alongside Freiburg and Stown, maybe not the most notable Heroic roster, but it did happen, it did exist. All right, back up ramp, Neo looking to get his head in the action and not ripped off. Double AWP. Shock on the boost. He got it with a Deag last time. And if S-Tag rotates, he's got to be very careful. What a lineup. Careful indeed. Flash over middle will get him there. And with the shot to Shock, it's Cole the first. Good awareness after that previous round boost. Poison tagged very low up on A. But JKS is again taking stairs, and this is great real estate. It's early warning for B. It also means you don't have to lean heavy on this side of the map. You're never scared that Sinners are lining up heavy smokes. And that smoke in front of him, that's S-Tags from Gens that we saw him line up. JKS has another to replenish. He hasn't done it, though, and he could get caught in the open. Cole ready to re-flash ramp, and oh, no, Zedco hasn't seen him.
JKS is lucky he's 5'11" and not crossed the line to 6, or else he would have been in big trouble there. Sometimes an inch less is many, many more, Hugo.
Oh, Blame gets out of dodge. And yeah, you don't want to go back in if you're Cole, right? 5-on-3. Hold off. Hold your horses. There's only 1 smoke, 2 flashes, 4 Sinners. They're running out of options. They're running out of chances. NATO looking for the contact, and it's Blame in the corner who gets cleared. Now NATO, don't get headshot. Don't let this round get out of control. And Oscar to take down the AWP. There's still 1 more. Plant coming through. B-Stick providing cover. Molly is good. Oscar just sits in it, sticks it, and burns to 20, but he does live for now. NATO wonders where the hell has he gone, and the flank is in for JKS. Finally pushed off a B, and feeling fancy. JKS wins the round, and that's more like it. Getting his head back in, getting 15 on the board. Complexity about to steal away Sinners map pick.
And you know, it's sad for Sinners, but lovely little recovery from JKS.
Yeah, I think
he's starting to feel a lot better over towards B, a lot more comfortable. Finally, it doesn't feel like every fight he takes is destined to end in disaster. Yeah, we've all had those days. It's the worst feeling. Like, you know, you're taking a gunfight and you just go, mate, I am, like, have I eaten magnets today or something? Like, I'm just dying at every one of these peaks. But now we're starting to have a return to form. Poison's even leaning towards B. He had the spawn in this round.
Oh, God. Careful. They have so many grenades as well for Cole. I'd love to see that be executed. You were talking about Harry earlier. They've got a bit of a mid-round here. A round in middle. One man outside of either bomb site keeping up the attention. Now they go back to B. Poison's still waiting, jiggling, wiggling. And he's alone. JKS is supporting middle. That's a tag with the first contact off this AWP, and Poison waiting for the kill to come to him. Flashes, smokes, you name it, it's going over the top, trying to cut off JKS and S-Tag. They do that. At least JKS, though, in the corner, they don't clear, and they only get one. Trade is in. Poison has to turn away, but he's getting split up the stairs through the smoke. Does he know?
Oh my God. No, yeah, that's way too close. Blame's dead in middle as well. And for NATO Safix, he's on this big flank.
Safe
He's
plant.
being held, and yeah, the bomb's planted for middle. It's all engineered around, you know, Oscar being there to close the round out, even if NATO is able to give them a run for their money. Now, he almost got that ace clutch. He almost got, you know, he got 4 out of 5. Brought to his knees at the end by Zedko, who is still alive in this round.
Oh.
Instead, it's Oscar to bring defeat to NATO Safix and lock in 12 for Sinners. Still determined to take this one to overtime.
Yeah, Sinners have more to show us, and I don't think that has proven to be the case on this T side, because a lot of their rounds have ended up on A, and Cole have had really good protocols. They've had good grenades. Blame's been beasting their Poison's often been on the A site, and so yeah, no surprise that Cole have pulled this to a 15th. But now the Sinners are showing us more. They're going mid, they're splitting this B site, they're running these execute smokes. They're starting to pick up the pieces. Any more from them? This one, you would almost assume guaranteed. 5 Deegs up on the ramp, sneaking in. Blame's going to get one. Neo, though, starting to build up some confidence. Oh, no. What? Don't lose like this. Don't lose to Deagles. No. But it might not be down to you. Zedko falls finally, and S-Tag closes the